Brooks, who is from Myrtle Beach, an accounting major, and he's the DMV driver's test. Michael.
So imagine yourself driving home during the summer. You got your windows rolled down, your music's playing, and life could not be any better. You look to your left and you see green grass and a clear blue sky. And then you look to your right and you see a car coming straight for you. You try to swerve out of the way, but it's too late. You find yourself upside down in a car accident because an inexperienced driver wasn't paying attention and blew a stop sign. With teenagers 16 through 19 years old being proven to have the highest accident ratings by the California Department of Motor Vehicles, in 2011, the DMV needs to develop a stricter system in issuing their DMVs, young drivers their license. I know a great deal about the subject, considering I've been hit 3 times by inexperienced drivers, and 2 of the 3 had only had their license no more than 180 days. In the survey I gave out also to my class, 13 of the 17 of them told me that they had little to no trust in the other drivers on the road. That's a serious problem. So if we make revisions on how young drivers can obtain their license, then the roads will become a lot safer and more trust is going to be gained from driver to driver. So today, I'm going to share with you just how big of a problem the current DMV's driver's test is and the possible ways to increase the difficulty of it to provide safer highways. So first, I'm going to start off with the problems with the current system. Teenagers 15 and up are getting their license, but most are not qualified or even ready based on their maturity levels to drive. Also, the DMV's driver's test is passing these young drivers when they do not know how to exemplify the rules of the road. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety in 2013, teen drivers have crash rates 3 times those of drivers 20 and older per mile driven. And it's said that the reason behind the statistic is that immaturity of these young drivers leads to speeding and other risks, and that these young drivers really just don't know how to respond to hazardous situations. Larry Copeland, a journalist for USA Today, states in USA Today's newspaper article in 2010 that young adults are continuing to drive distracted even when they recognize the dangers behind it. And what that's saying is that driving is the real first adult responsibility we take on, and that these kids know the dangers behind it, but they're just completely forgetting that, and they're just doing it anyways. They're doing that, and they're just blowing their responsibilities. Another problem with this driver's test is it's just way too easy. It doesn't examine students in real-life scenarios. For instance, the DMV doesn't give driver's tests in the rain. Well, we all know driving in the rain is inevitable, and that we can't help it. So if a driver does not know how to take the DMV's driver's test in the rain there, and they don't pass because of it, they won't be able to pass on the road. Dana Wachter, a journalist for the Fox News, quoted a DMV employee in her newspaper article in 2012, and she stated that learning drivers need to be tested in traffic rather than tested in residential areas they have now. Even a person from the inside of the DMV says that what they're doing is just ineffective. She's saying that you need to be tested out on the interstate, out on the highway, where you have other traffic, where you need to know how to merge in and out of lanes. You need to know how to keep the pressure, keep your confidence in driving and not fold underneath the pressure. One last reason the driver's test is just way too easy is because it doesn't require a lot of time and practice beforehand. In South Carolina, potential drivers who are 15 and up are only required to take an 8-hour class and 6 hours of driving lessons with a driver's ed instructor. So you can practically have your driver's license in about a week and a half. So you see, the Department of Motor Vehicles is failing to keep unprepared drivers off the road because of the age requirement they set and the impracticalness of the road test. So now that we've highlighted some major problems with the DMV and its current system, what are the ways to resolve these problems? Now, I know solving problems is not easier said than done, but the best way, I think, to resolve these 3 problems in the DMV's process of issuing young drivers their license is by changing 3 parts of the policy. We need to increase the age of eligibility to obtain your license, we need to increase the difficulty of the driver's test, and we need to make all driver's tests in all states the same. To help decrease the teenage accident rate mentioned earlier, the age of drivers needs to increase from 15 to 17 years old. Alan F. Williams and his team wrote an article in the Journal of Public Health Policy in 2012, And Williams and his team's research concluded that just by increasing the age, the driving age from 15 to 17 years old, it would reduce fatal crashes involving teenage drivers from 65 to 85%. And most of that's just based on maturity. That 2 years allows a driver to mature that much more. The difficulty of the driver's examination also needs to be revised. The exam should be pass or fail. If a driver does not know how to complete a step while they're taking the test, then they're not going to complete that step out on the road. And you only get one chance out there. And if you fail, then you could result in a huge accident, maybe even death. Another problem is going in, a solution is going in to take the road test. A driver needs to have at least 20 hours driving with the driver's ed instructor, and 5 of those hours needs to be in bad conditions. They need to know how to drive on the road and avoid the ice on the bridge, or they need to know how to, at night, to look at the side of the road if you can't see what's ahead of you. So after the age and difficulty of the driver's test is revised, all states should have the same driver's test, or the actual road test. Whether you're in New York or New Mexico, we should all know how to drive the same way. And with that, when you have everybody driving the same way, everybody's exemplifying the same rules, and they're all well prepared. So I know some of you are thinking, well, just because you increase the age to drive doesn't mean the problems will become resolved, or increasing the difficulty of the driver's test is just going to disinterest some people from wanting to get their license. But the benefits coming from these 3 solutions are far greater than the minor setbacks they bring. And like I said earlier, increasing the driving age alone will help prevent accidents involving teenagers from 65 to 85%. So the people that are taking time to get a license under the reform policy will be prepared for the road and the dangers that come along with it. And new drivers taking this reform test will have to undergo a more lengthy process. So it's really going to separate the lazy drivers and the careless ones from the drivers that are really there to drive the right way and to become well prepared for the road. So if the DMV increases the age to take the driver's test, the difficulty of it, while making all driver's tests the same, then the roads are going to become a lot safer and more trust is going to be gained from driver to driver. So in conclusion, the DMV's driver's test is a serious problem. And to be able to create safer highways and prevent more car accidents, the DMV needs to do those 3 things. So now that you know the DMV's problems with the driving test and some solutions go along with it, you need to stand behind a politician wanting to make that change. I want to drive on the road during the summer with my windows rolled down and music's playing, and know that my fellow drivers on the road are well prepared and were properly taught.